Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our Global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear not hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rub and cheat, and not press the poor. Make up what I sing to. Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan. Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite part, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out. I sell out Babylon. They give man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead and can sell out Rasta and sell out. I sell out Babylon. Just talk on the Friday. You might throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black big man throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rasta man.
Steady them nice. Stibby dim day. We in Global TV says certain kind of friend we no keep. And some informer friend we lovely. We in Global, bona fake friend and bona tape. We in Global, we not promote them, we not support them. Look at them and she come here represent for. We in Global TV. Check it.
Good evening, globalists. Good evening, and welcome to what may potentially be my last show for the month. As you know how things goes, but good evening and welcome. This evening we are looking at what wins an election. I really don't want to go off without doing such a show. So call the People's National Party candidate, particularly the first timers, because even though they would know, possibly, and the people, their workers around them would know, but as the chair leading the constituency, we want to make sure they are fully aware, the candidates are fully aware of what they must accomplish on election day to be successful. To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good evening. Welcome. Thank you all for joining us this evening. So I had my pre-assessment today. Things are still going to go ahead, but from my point of view, something a bit positive happened. It is something that I wanted, and luckily after I left the hospital today, they've called me. Because I've been doing detox since May, and I've already tested their science with the detox I'm doing by the results of the blood I did in June. There's massive improvement. I don't know if what they're going to do tomorrow, they're going to read it if it's they're reading into the success of the new statistics of my blood. But what they're going to do tomorrow morning, they asked me to come in some hours earlier because they want to do another CT scan tomorrow before they do the surgery. Now, that is important to me because even if the surgery is going to go ahead still, it will help me as to if the detox have any effect on the tumor, because I have seen other positive effects with the detox, such as my sight, my breathing, my cholesterol, and all of that. And all of this was done by their science from the recent blood work that was done. So I am hoping that if effectively, maybe there won't have to be an operation. If there's any reduction in the size of the tumor, then they could postpone the operation and watch it. So let's hope and see what the result of the CT will be on Monday morning before they proceed, because originally they wanted to proceed without doing another ultrasound. But after the pre-assessment today, they had a change of mind, which is a good thing for me because I wanted that done before. I wanted a second CT scan before the surgery. So that is positive on my part. So even if the surgery is going ahead still, it will give me a reading as to should I continue, should I reroute, or so that's one slight positive aspect for me. But I want to call all the People's National Party candidates for us, please, because we want to make sure them have all the information that they ought to have in order to make sure they walk up Duke Street the day after election. Beat and Teach, good evening and welcome. Good evening, good evening. Good evening. Who else is here? Debbie Jarvis TV, good evening. Abinasar Cody, good evening. Sharon Bernard, good evening. Good evening and welcome. Norman Ferguson, good evening. Jamrack 8766, Sunshine. Judy Roberts, good evening. Colleen, good evening. Who else is around? Monica Wells, good evening. Annie Jones. Cousin Jay, welcome back, Wagwan. Who else is here? Althea, good evening, and welcome. Kayla Shelley, good evening. Good evening and welcome. RJ, good evening. Paulette Lewis, Rodney Reed. Sonia Johnson, good evening. Kachi Wagwan Cuz, good evening, welcome. How are you? Is it Guilford Allison, good evening. Cham B, Sonia Johnson, Colleen Richards, good evening, Monica. Michelle Lewis Wilson, Marvin Nesbeth, Danette Harriet, Violet Watson, Tony C, Renice Nicholson, Lynette Jenkins, Colin, Morris Anderson. Good evening, and welcome. TikTok, good evening. Instant Nanny, David Jervis, Colleen, Carol, Dorothy, Slade, John Carr, Sharon, Instant Nanny, Nicole, Page, is it Kiso? Fully God, Loretta, Colo, Renford, what it's Tim, something like that. It's Timmy, sorry. Paradise, it's RM Albert. Good evening, everyone. Good evening and welcome. Thank you all for joining us. Adolphus, good evening. Campbell, good evening. Now, if you want to be successful at the polls, it's not just a big campaign or lots of paraphernalia and all of that. That is not the only thing that wins a campaign. Yes, we know in our campaign cycle, a lot of money is pumped into winning an election in the last 24 hours of the campaign, as well as organization is the key to also winning a seat. Bringing out your voters is the key, and you have to be organized to do that. You're not just there to hope that your voters turn out. Your job is to bring your voters out to make sure that you take home the election, the seat successfully. So there's a lot of bits and pieces that you all need to make sure on a keen on. I'm not worried about Danishka so much because to say Danishka father is a political hawk and does understand what political organization on the day means when it comes to winning an election. So she would have expertise guidance, I would assume, as well as the other new candidates. They would have expertise guidance from the party, from the workers within the party, from the councillors, and everybody. But we can walk away and don't tell them, isn't it? Hmm? We cannot walk away and do not have our say about it. So, it's not the protests, it's not the posters, it's not the big crowd, it's not the paraphernalia. What you need to do is to be organized. You don't have to make sure on a machine well oiled on the day, and you have several little different areas to cover. Your indoor agents. It's important to make sure your indoor agents have everything they need. I mean, they're not for shorter, nothing. So you gotta make sure they have a small exercise book, then pencil, then sharpener, then water, then snacks. And the only leave they leave them post is for toilet break and them something there. Why that is important? This election, we do think there's a lot of stealing will be going on. So you have to make sure you have eyes everywhere. Everywhere you can find an eye, then make sure there's an eye there. When it comes to the runners, make sure you have your runners, whether you call them your runners or your drivers. These people are critical to getting out your voters on election day. What is also important for the runners is their lists. And you must first collect up all of your runners, create a list of your runners with all of your runners' driver's license. You need to compile that, as well as the drivers, the 1 in 20 list that the drivers must have an election day. You must make sure all those are prepared for your drivers. So your drivers know who to pick up, your driver know their route and everything. All these type of organization are very important to getting out your voters in order to help you to achieve victory. By 6 a.m. in the morning, all your runners must be serviced with petrol. Nobody no fit depend delay or anything. Make sure they get them voter. Make sure them top up with petrol, so say you don't have any sort of encumbrance in your way that day that when it comes to making sure you get people out. Hey bro, we could get private person to check the worker's ID. Hold on. So make sure that is key, because if your voters are struggling to get to the poll, they might not get there. If they're struggling to get to the poll, it might actually be a turnoff, them not ending up there. So Uno must make sure all your runners have them gas vulture and everything them gas vulture, them lists, and you make sure you have a list of all the runners that you would need on that day to bring out everybody out of all of the little cribs and corner them. You know, for the little corner them, we have to go dig out people with vehicle, police, government now, nobody no go. Yes, up at the little place there, you have to go and you have to drag out everybody. Your runners on election day are one of the most important set of people, persons working for, throughout the constituency on election day, because it's getting out the voters is key, and it's your runners that brings out your voters. So your runners are very important. You must also have trusted and dedicated runners as well. You don't want to have runners who are sitting on the fence. Your runners must be diehard supporters. Hence, those type of runners will make sure them get out everybody with them figure out, and possible make sure runners are from community where them know where everybody there. Organize, 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 organize. Hmm? Organize. When it comes to your your outdoor now, there are several things that you need. You need tent. You need to set up marquees, tent, whatever out there for them. You need to also provide umbrella just in case rain and them have to move from angle to angle outside of the tent. So all of these things must be provided. Likewise, those miscellaneous you provide for the indoor agent, the sharpener, the pencil, the small exercise book, water, and all of those things, a copy of the voters list as well. Your outdoor agent need to be well stationed, well serviced, and look after to look after things outside, because you don't want your outdoor agent to be disorientated and disorganized. So they must have Sinac and waters where they can mumble and keep themselves calm and comfortable, provide them good hydration and good shade, because you know it's a sun pelt in a few country. Look of ice and a lot of hot water every stay hydrated, including the voters. Yes. So want to make sure all of those things on hand, because our country very hot. People are gonna line up. People are go dead for a while. So make sure you have those on hand to make sure everybody is properly serviced. Every driver must have driver must have them 1 in 20 list, and make sure everybody when if you pick up on that list is ticked off. Another very critical part of that day is providing lunch for your workers. And this can be done in several ways, because in every voting division, you have Labor Right and PNP. So both Labor Right and PNP can do the same thing. What you can do in preparing lunch, if it suits you better, you can have a dedicated cook near the polling division where they can cook the lunch, and the runner themselves during lunchtime could transport those lunch to the workers, because you know say your people have to always they are them post. That's one option of providing lunch. Another option is arrange with restaurant to have. Oh, my TikTok battery is low. I hope it don't die on me. Arrange with restaurants to have lunch delivered to the different polling divisions, whether you want to use local restaurant or you want to use the godforsaken thing that Jamaica people like, the two-piece of thing in a box or whatever it's called, that thing. But you must make sure when it comes to election day, all of these different areas that you ought to be organized in. Election day, you don't need to be running around fixing them. Everything must be signed off at least from the night before. All you need to do election morning is put all these organized measures in place and ready to kick the machine in gear. So if we organize well and get out on our voters, you can be successful. For those of you who understand the election cycle in a Jamaican work cycle, if anything me no member, you can also put it in the comment as well. But when a country is fed up of the country's direction, sometimes the big vote buying doesn't necessarily brings home the success, especially if the People's National Party wants to take the advantage of the Jamaica Labour Party sitting on their hands because of X or Y. So as well as we know, say, there's a deep corrupt practice in our election cycle of vote buying, not that Blake. But organization matters, because everybody have money to buy $2,000 worth of vote, or possible on everybody's seat morally to buy vote for $2,000. So organization matters, and the mood of the country, and this is for you People's National Party candidate, the mood of the country and the revival of the People's National Party, I think, work hard, get your base out at this time. You ought to be base focused. I'm not saying you should depend on your base alone, because base alone does not deliver the general election. There are the undecided or independent voters, but you must be base focused at the moment to make sure all your base is oiled and ready to move when that day comes. But you must also spare time for the independent, the fence voters, or the undecided voters. Because to say, they are listening for what it is that suit their ears or their future look for the country to make their eggs. So those people you also have to tap into. But at this moment, you ought to be base focused. Make sure your base machine is oiled and ready to move. I remember saying, your indoor and outdoor agent them, you have to go order some extra eye. Because then have to go look everywhere. Because if Mr. Holness doesn't get the election fair and square, I do believe he may attempt to steal it. But Mark Golden address you in his way. May I go address the Prime Minister in my way when the Prime Minister talks about power hungry or power grab. Power hungry is the word he used. Power hungry people, Prime Minister. It would be something more up your street. The very refusal to call the election, an election that the direction of where it's all going show that you're going to lose. Somebody who is squeezing out every drop and particle of water out of the sponge, Prime Minister, would have more suit a power-hungry person who hold the nation at ransom only because you know that you won't be successful at the poll. I think that would fit more into one you would describe as a power-hungry person. Because if you name power-hungry Prime Minister and you're sure you're going to win the third term, then you would call it at the advantageous time for you. Is there an advantageous time for the Prime Minister? I can't tell when I've seen the last one, because since the local government election of last year, the Prime Minister has regularly slipped from one scandal, one corruption to another. Could there be any little spark that gives the Prime Minister the oomph and the move ahead to make him be sure in his mind that, yes, may I go win the election now, so me can call it? I don't know if that will happen, because given the government that this Prime Minister runs, that comfortably fall from one scandal to another, I don't think, remember, I hope a scandal we have up in one another right now, Remember, so we had Jill Boss and hospital decadence, buck up in one another right now, dead baby. Hospital, they say, on the brink, we know a mash up long time. Colleen Stewart, Monica Horton. We know so the hospital mash up long time. However, them say they're on the brink. A whole heap of scandal just in the last few weeks, Prime Minister. Just in the last few weeks. I lose count of the scandal them where we just a walk and a buck up in us. So I don't know why you're waiting and what you're waiting for, or what it is for that matter, that you hope that something positive will happen to give you the oomph to call the election. I don't know where you wait pan, but Prime Minister, given the direction of your government over the last 9 years, the only thing positive can come forward is another worse scandal, Prime Minister. The only thing can come forward now is a worse or a scandal. So I don't know where I wait pan. I've been telling you this, and globalists must remember this. I've been telling you this from after the local government election. Your best chance is now. Your best chance, Prime Minister, is now. The longer you dry it out, and the more stripe you lose. See there? The longer you dry it out, and the more stripe you lose. You think if you call it last year, your waitress from the go-go club could have come out now before election? If you call it last year, you think a dead baby them would have surfaced before election? Prime Minister, anytime you call it, no, or if the Constitution have to call it, if you cold feet and can't call it, you're going to lose. The writing is on the wall. The nation is fed up of the corruption. The nation is fed up of nothing done over 9 years. The nation is fed up of the lies on the PR. Call Kevin Blake. Call Kevin Blake, Andrew Holness, and Horace Chang. Kind Jamaican for justice assessor this time, you know. So the Colleen said Jolette and Delano scandal. Brand new scandal surface. Kevin Blake, why you walk and shoot down the people them picking them just so? Andrew Holness, Horace Chang, why have you turned the gun on the young men of our country? How do we know that they're criminal? Andrew Holness, Kevin Blake, and Horace Chang? How do we know that these young men won't just walk and a gun down so in the name, Prime Minister, of bringing down the crime figure? Prime Minister, sometimes I confuse because your way of bringing down the crime figure and the Prime Minister is kill more people. You take over the killing. That's a way to bring down the crime figure, isn't it? Let us take over the killing. Prime Minister, if you turn with turn, you and your security force them. Nick HQ, how you do, bro? Every turn, you and your security force them is just shooting down young men left, right, and center of the country. Your police them not trained to apprehend nobody, sir. Your police them not trained for the darn raid. Your police them not trained for the darn raid. Them not. You have so much intelligence, and your intelligence can lead you to a darn raid to capture these youths and bring them in front of the court. Everything must be a maker. Everything must be Jeet back and Checha. Prime Minister, continue killing the young men of Jamaica is not a way to bring down the crime figure. It is not a way to bring down the crime figure, Prime Minister. How do we know that these young men are guilty? How do we know that they are criminal? And you kill them without giving them a day in court, which at one point you did promise, but we know you don't mean it. In the comments saying Prime Minister, Horace Chang, Kevin Blake, because remember where the all on did come out and want Yam of Jamaica for justice head. Remember you all came out and you want to take a chunk out of Jamaican for justice because they're concerned of the extrajudicial killing or the police killings without camera and no lack of body worn camera. In the concern about rising police fatal shooting and lack of body worn cameras. Horace Chan. The money we hold us are used militarize the country for war with we the people of Jamaica. Why wholeness to put those money into intelligence and body worn camera, all of them thing there. If wholeness serious about crime fighting, hmm? If Andrew Holness serious about crime fighting, why Andrew Holness don't put the resources where it matter into intelligence, into body worn cameras, into police vehicle? But this is not the first time Indicom have this concern, because Indicom has been overworked, especially in the last 6 months or so. Indicom has been overworked. The rate of shootings that the police them just are go on and a shoot down young men. So now we are not here to defend criminals, but how do we know that they're criminal? Hmm? You also, the Prime Minister is not a criminal because he's not been in front of the court. Does that not apply to the young men in the ghetto? Hmm? Does that not apply to the young men in the ghetto, that they aren't criminal as well until we put them in front of a court? But wholeness job, Odin Henry, how are you? Barbara Simpson. Wholeness job, Russian Mafia, how are you? Florence. Wholeness job is to bring down the crime figure by walking around the using him security service around the country, massacring what could be innocent young men. How we are going to know, Joy Carr, how you do? How we are going to know that these young men are criminal, that they are wrongdoers, that they have killed or caused serious injury to people? We don't know. Jermaine Campbell. No, it's not the police job to know them. There isn't anything in law where say police will just know criminal Jermaine Campbell and go around, go shoot them down. What about taking them through the process? Our police don't have the intelligence to do dawn raid? Why it's always shoot to kill? Can they not do dawn raid to apprehend these criminals if they know who they are, Jermaine Campbell? If they know who they are, then that's perfect for you to arrange a dawn raid. Or is it that you don't have the intelligence to find them? But if we tell the Prime Minister for Sucky Mama, no can find we. So your argument don't make no sense that the police job is to know them, not me. The police job is to know them, but not to just know them to kill them, Jermaine. The police job is to know them, to apprehend them and bring them to justice. Is it not? Or not take the approach like the Prime Minister to just walk and shoot down people, innocent children, until they get a phone or door. It will get on the door one day, you know. It will get on the door one day. But a shoot to kill policy is not policing. A shoot to kill policy is not policing, and also policing go. That would show that there's no level of intelligence gathering in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, or even if they are gathering intelligence, there's an operational flaw here where they can't arrange dawn raid, figure arrest them, creep up them and them weapon, put them in a prison and bring them before the court. Why is it all the while is just a shoot to kill, McCabe? Why it's just a shoot to kill coming from Andrew Holness and Horace Chang all the while? What if we were to shoot Andrew and Horace for the crime they've committed? I mean, Dr. Chang, who took 200 guns into the country just in one shipment, 200 AK-47s just in one shipment. What if we were to turn the gun at Dr. Chang? Because Dr. Chang would be a criminal like these young men in the ghetto, in the arms, the illegal arms trade, is it not? So if you stop going like a poor people pick me alone, a criminal, Jermaine, what's it your name is? And if you stop going like a poor people pick me alone, a criminal, because you very well know, Jermaine, that both labor rights and PNP politician, as the research shows, put gun into these young men's hand. So we can't just keep blaming the young men of society. So when the business community and the political community are the ones who's bringing in the guns and the drugs in the country, because the youths from the ghetto certainly don't have the finances for bringing them level of guns and ammunition into the country. So we must talk about with politicians and with business community them too. We're involved in the drugs and the arm trade and the killing in our country. Why not think a poor people pick me alone involved in it? Why do you all think a poor people pick me alone involved in the surge in crime in our country? Though the Prime Minister claims it, I go down. I'm not sure about that. But crime is not a poor people thing. Poor people is a victim of crime. Poor people get involved in crime because of lack of opportunity, because of engineer hardship. It's not that poor people are criminal. It's not that people from the ghetto are criminal. You find more criminals uptown, if the truth be told. So we cannot accept a shoot-to policy from one of the most crooked leaders we ever have in this country. We can't accept that. We can't make Andrew think that this is something all right because they've been branded as criminal, so it's okay to shoot them down, not knowing if that's somebody's innocent child or not. Why not think that every youth a police shoot out there is a criminal? What's your proof? Because all of these young men that they've been shooting down in the street, they have not provided us any proof that they're criminal, aren't they? Have they? They're not providing no proof that none of them are criminals, so we don't know. For all we know, they could be innocent. Because as per the standard, it's only a court can convict you as a criminal, even though we know, as I've always called Andrew Holness, an unconvicted criminal. Delpha, Marcia, how no do? Because the Prime Minister is not convicted in front of a court. So I can call the Prime Minister an unconvicted criminal because the youths of the ghetto, the unconvicted criminal label are attached to them. We just blatantly call them criminals. We just blatantly call them criminals. We don't know if they're criminals. We don't know if all of them are criminals. But we cannot keep thinking to say the youths of the ghetto is Jamaica's worst problem when it comes to crime. I guarantee you that that is not true. I guarantee you that that is not true. Crime is a very expensive piece of tool. It takes money, especially when it comes to the illegal arms trade. It's nothing cheap. The youths in the ghetto can't afford that. Them barely can buy a drink of rum if they no walk and beg. So the guns get into the ghetto. The guns get into the ghetto. We cannot blame the youths them alone for the guns into the ghetto. Who's putting the guns in the youth's hand is the question you must ask yourself. And the same people that will put the guns in the youth hands are the same people who are going to go turn gun upon them or order them to be killed. When Dr. Chang in 2021 November opened the container of AK-47 in flankers, 200 of them, Dr. Chang also loaded, after arming flanker, Dr. Chang also loaded 3 coaster buses, dispatched them to various different garrisons. I don't know. That information didn't get to me where they were dispatched to. Those guns are on the street of our country. And we are killing young youths over these guns that the Minister of National Security brought into the country illegally for his own gangsterized purpose. The Minister of National Security, which is the head of the most notorious gang in Western Jamaica, the Stone Crusher Gang. The Minister of National Security, which is taking out bullets out of his gang member in his private office without reporting it to the very police officers he lead. Who no go get up every day and call poor people one picking a criminal? Or no go get up every day and call poor people picnic criminal when just like if we not go say we not prove say Andrew a criminal, we not prove say Chang a criminal because them not go in front of court. You not prove say poor people picnic a criminal neither because you not take them in front of court. We have to make the rule of law apply equally. If it's okay to turn the gun on a youth in the ghetto, it should be okay to turn the gun on our politicians as well. Because before the politicians are the reason why the guns get into the ghetto. So it should be safe. Michael Nepper, how are you? Raymond Burke, how you doing? It should be safe to turn the guns on our police officers. Or with police, if you want to turn it on them as well, it doesn't matter. But our politicians, it ought to be safe. When I be careful when I speak for Kingston, I'm speaking in a democracy. I'm not living in Jamaica where no hush and afraid. Me live in a country where you can speak and make police arrest you and you don't care and you come out and you talk again, all right? When the Jamaican people become afraid of politicians and them gun and them defamation lawsuit, when you walk on a bite the bullet and sit down and stress. Me no sit down and stress. Me a town crier. Me a community bell. Me will walk and make the noise. When me watch my mouth for? What do my mouth? What me a say we no normal? What is wrong with turning guns at politicians? Aren't they human beings? Do they not have blood? Do they not eat and shit? Oh, TikTok. Oh dear. And I don't think I can get the TikTok live on this one. TikTok, the battery dead upon TikTok. On the thingy. Gone. Can I find producer Wayne on this phone? But will it allow me to go live? Murdo. Yes, but hold on there. Hold on there. May I try if you want me come live on another phone. Got it. There. Hold on, the globalist. Hold on there. Let me hold on there. Let me find one. What's him call it? One tripod for the phone. So if you not text me, I can't say anything. Come here, use my phone to finish my live. I'm coming back on producer Wayne. How do I do this thing? Oh dear. Hold on, please. No effects. Murdo. Come on, phone, stop it. Stop playing hocus pocus with me. Bear with me, my peeps. But no matter anyway, coming soon done, innit? But Indicom is raising their concern once again. Resume live. Oh, backs in the covers. No, sir. Come the same thing. You're live on another device. Resume here. Will end live on the other device. Yes, resume yourself. Backside. No, stop. Globalist. It allow me to resume. No, sir. No technology. We learned something tonight. I've learned something tonight. So, no, Debian, you can go back on now. I was on the iPad and the iPad died. And it allowed me to retrieve that live onto my phone. So I'm back up and running. No, so technology are going decent, boy. Yeah? Because I never know, so them pretty something, yeah. Then decent something yeah, could happen. So me learn. Oh. Hold on, I find back my proper screen. Okay, if I don't have the dark screen at bottom, I can't see the comments them on the white screen. Yes. See my back, you know. Oh, Jesus. I think it jump out of the case, but never mind. Never mind. Oh, gosh. Move that thingy from in front of me. Hold on to my peeps. I need to slot in this phone properly so I can get to do God. No, submit on folio now. I don't want this one. This is what I want. What you have up on the background. Never mind. I mean, no sense tonight. Hold on there. Anyway, let me tag with this, so. Me jump from one device to the other and it'll give me there now. See, won't fix my screen back home. I did have it. But never mind. Does every term carry the death sentence? If no, why are all the young people being murdered? This could be the death sentence by stealth. We still have the death sentence on books, but it is not something given or Privy Council attachment that would be really enforced because Britain don't impose the death penalty anymore. So, on appeal to the Privy Council, it would almost be quashed. So the government then, by stealth, is using the security services to carry out extrajudicial killing, thereby applying the death penalty arbitrarily. I hope that clears it up for you. Who asked that question? Refresh to excellence. I hope that provide a better answer. But us as broadcasters, the nation, and I'm sure Jamaicans for Justice is going to pick up on this as well. But we cannot allow this to continue without having concern as to what is happening and press more for government to provide us more answers. But then Indicom themselves are under resource as it is. But the militarization of the country, Prime Minister, where you nobody in a war, where you're not in a war, I don't know if you have plans for it somewhere down the line. But these money, these lavish spending would better equip the police when it comes to intelligence, forensics, body-worn camera, intelligence, and all the little things, them, Prime Minister, that would allow the police them to gather more intelligence and do a capture and put in front of the court. Because if your police know who the criminals are, if your police know where the criminals live or locate, then the police supposed to can organize a down rate. You mean nobody in the JCF no understand how to carry out them type of raid there to secure, to arrest people and secure evidence to have to make sure that you secure a conviction in front of the court. Killing Prime Minister is not going to solve the problem. I guarantee you the youths in the ghetto are going to become more angry with the police. And it's just going to be that cycle. The youths in the ghetto are angry with the police, and it just will continue in that cycle. You going in the ghetto, killing the youth, don't make crime. Crime might, even if it go down in the short term, Prime Minister, you're setting up a lot of angry youths to later on possibly go and pick up the gun because of how them say the government behave like a gangster. Might as well me step up my gangsterism too. What about community policing, Prime Minister? What about a community-led approach to policing? What about an intelligence-led approach? Because an intelligence-led approach don't lead you to go shoot down people, Prime Minister. An intelligence-led approach allow you to gather the evidence even before you go and apprehend the criminal. So me not understand the back-to-front galanging. The back-to-front galanging where uno operate pan round there, so. It's really a back and front galanging. The operations of this government when it comes to crime, even though them have this glorification, Ivan Riley, of how crime, of how much the figures have gone down, I'm not sure the nation is feeling the numbers that the Prime Minister is boasting on. I'm not sure if tourists have that feeling as well, because every time you open the papers, you see the crime as well. 1 minute then tell we say murder gone down, but serious crimes like robbery and all of that are up. And then at another point again, them tell we say all of them gone down. I don't know. But we've been played. We've been played for this government political purpose. Only though that it is not something that's sellable now for this government. I mean, in an RDR and JBC time, you could put on your pot over this. But it's a different thing now, Prime Minister. The knives. Because mainly that come from your flight green in the Prime Minister. Knives without any substance. Knives without substance, PM. We tell we say take you 9 whole years. He still couldn't get it right. It still turned out to be a mess. The shameless part of it, though, is that you stare right in our face and I use it as a campaign to win more votes when the only thing you could deliver in 9 years is 110 all boss. 110 all boss at the tune of $1.4 billion. So even when we at park out all heap of money, we don't entitle to nothing new. Even when we are forking out tant amount of money, we're not entitled to nothing new. We could have get new bus out of the money. We could have get coaster bus where they're steering the on the right side of the road. We're safe with children them. We could have get coaster bus where if the Prime Minister come with some of the coaster bus them, when make Jacqueline Lecker, whatever she name, go by. Prime Minister, you wouldn't possibly shut up a lot of way. We wouldn't say, at least in late, but him arrive. Late, but him arrive. But Prime Minister, you're late, you arrive, and you arrive with all stuff. You're late, you arrive, but with all stuff. So not an arrest because we have to go search through the rubble. Prime Minister, we have to go search through the rubble to find out if anything in the barrel good and how far down in the barrel we have to go before we find something. Because it's a barrel mentality, Prime Minister. If you go take up so much old sinting from foreign, can't come give it. That's a barrel mentality. And you know what make it worse, Sarah? How educated you are. How policy focused you are. You should be, given your degrees. Well, you done 2 in business and 1 in law and policy. I don't know if these hope of education, Prime Minister, serves you any good purpose. Because you have done a bachelor. Hold on there. I've been on the phone side of me. But you have done a bachelor. You have done a master's. And you have done a law and policy. All of the Prime Minister would be relevant to the running of a country. How have you gotten it so horribly wrong? How have you missed what you have to put in practice what you have learned over the years, Prime Minister. 3-degree, 3-degree, and you can formulate a policy out of 3-degree, Prime Minister. All boss knew this, knew that the only word that this government know is new.
I want to say one little thing. We have a wicked tune where we released the other day, you know? Yeah, man. We're marching on to progress. It'll take life on the road, you know? You want to see labor right a dance to it, to them love it too. Let's go hear a little piece like that.
March, we are march, 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 we are march, march, march. Now we are marching on progress. Time comes only allowed. We don't care what deliverance say, or what they say we are. Now we need to find deliverance and to set Jamaica free. We are that fire complex and we march into victory.
Yeah, man. Boy, nice to kill. But I want to tell some of the little GLP apologists in the media, and don't worry yourself. I love we are dealing with, you know. The word is love, you know. When we talk about we are blood and fire, comrade. We're resilient. We're passionate. We're determined to see change. We're not afraid of nobody. We are going to do what we have to do. But we are doing it within the law. And we are doing it with love for our country. Because we love Jamaica. And we love our people. So you don't have to worry about that. Just enjoy the music, man. Lick it again, the selector.
March, we are march, 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 we are march, march, march. Now we are marching on progress. Time goes on, we don't care what deliverance say, or what they say we are. We need to find deliverance and to set Jamaica free.
Everybody.
Whoa!
We are the build back.
We are the build better than before. Everything that takes away.
We are the bring.
We are the set it right and restore. Ease up the pressure. Now Jamaica can't take no more. We are stepping out the darkness into the light and keep down corruption. Now we are marching on progress. Time goes on, we allow.
Everybody.
We don't care what deliverance say, or what they say we are. We need to find deliverance and to set Jamaica free. We are that fire.
The People's National Party, Prime Minister, is moving around the country with a revival. The People's National Party, Prime Minister, is moving around the country with a revival. The base of the People's National Party, Prime Minister, is oiled and ready to move. Can the Prime Minister say that about his base? Can the Prime Minister tell the nation that his base is well oiled and ready to go? If the Prime Minister calls the election tomorrow, Is the Prime Minister confident that his workers, Celine Browning, how you do, that his workers are ready to hit the road? His voters are ready to hit the road. Prime Minister, can you say that? We have seen the revival of the People's National Party around the country. Can the Prime Minister say that of the Jamaica Labour Party? Because if the Prime Minister, I think, if the Prime Minister could have answered that question to himself, the question would be answered by the Prime Minister calling the election. The walls are breaking down, though, Prime Minister. How long you think you're going to be able to dodge the election date for? Is what is on the nation's tongue. How long, Prime Minister, will you be able to dodge the election date? Because at this moment, you're holding the country at ransom for your own narcissistic tendencies. It has nothing to do with the country. It has to do with your personal power hunger, Prime Minister. I'm thinking, Colleen, let's see what happens when it gets to the 3rd of September, if he does nothing before. But at this moment, Prime Minister, you know me, I ask you for a little time. Because if you ever call it all upon the theater table, may I run out by you. So what I would encourage you to do, like how you're so afraid forward here, afraid little more. Afraid little more, Prime Minister, and give me a few more weeks. Because I want to be in the thick of it. I want to be dancing in your disgrace, Prime Minister. Because it won't happen, you know. And you see it coming too. You see it coming. That's why you duck and dive. For how long, though? For how long will the Prime Minister be able to duck and dive from the people of Jamaica? No, who was I responding to? If the Prime Minister doesn't call the election by I was responding to someone. Who was it? By the 3rd to the 15th, when he would have ought to base on the date of the last general election, then my thinking is the Prime Minister seeking to use the extension provided in the Constitution? If the Prime Minister, if that is the plan of the, or that thing I was looking for was on TikTok, or it was you, it was Colleen, or it was Colleen. Yes, if my thinking, if the Prime Minister, if that date comes and we hear or see nothing, then my thinking is he may want to use the extension, which I think possibly will take him into December. But if the Prime Minister is doing such, which would have been unprecedented, because we have never gone into the wording of the Constitution when it comes to calling an election, then the Prime Minister ought to come to the nation around about that time and explain to them what he's doing. I don't think he should be allowed to lead us so blindly, twisting and tweaking the Constitution to suit him. Because as I said, our election cycle in the Westminster democracy It's a cycle favorable to the prime minister. The prime minister can call an election on the dot of the cycle, whether it's a 4-year or 5-year cycle, or the prime minister can call the election anytime within the cycle as the prime minister so choose. We've seen Holness done that a year early in 2020, when he could have waited until 2021. Maybe he wouldn't have killed so much people using COVID. So if he's planning to use the extension, the Prime Minister Marlene Malahou, Fort Delroy Chuck, and the Attorney General ought to address the nation on the issue, because we have never used it before. To now have gone into the wording of the Constitution, which we've never used. It has always done on the convention. The government calls it, the Prime Minister calls it within that 4 or 5 year cycle when it's politically advantageous to him or her. It's the first time in my living memory where I deal with the date, the wording that the Constitution make provision for as to do with our election. And this show you that this is a desperate government, because you have turned you turn into Donald Trump. Will soon come to you. You have turned into Donald Trump, where because convention don't have a legal force behind it, you disrespectfully depart from what everybody as government and as leaders come and have respect for. You come and you mash them up. It's the same thing Donald Trump does. And to you, Donald Trump, it is alleged that your signature is written in the groin of one of who you may abuse or take advantage of, Mr. President. But isn't it telling, though, Donald Trump, that you are on the Epstein file? 10 years of close friendship with Epstein. A pussy-grabbing president could have never turned down such an advance of Epstein selling young underage girls to you, Donald Trump. I would never believe that at any point, that Donald Trump would have refused that. Given that you, Donald Trump, campaign on the publication of Epstein list, what are you hiding now, Donald Trump? If you're Epstein friend, like Andrew from down the palace there, you all are pedophiles. So release the list. Your plan say I got short you and everybody. We are turn back now, pan. Release the list, Donald Trump. You're on it. The world wants to know as well. And remember, Donald Trump, you may be protected now, but if you have committed serious criminal offense, the minute you step down, there is no statute of limitation on the crimes you would have committed along with Epstein, Donald Trump. So release the Epstein file. Make we see Donald Trump the panny. Make we see where Donald Trump signature written. We want to know that. We also want to mash up America, you know, but we want to know your disgrace too. Gonna certainly have them. Gonna certainly have them. We want to see the Epstein file. You promise it. It's an election promise, Donald Trump, and you must deliver. You break one election promise already by bombing Iran, by continuing the Gaza war, by continuing the Ukraine war. And now you come roll back on the Epstein file with it all away. Sit down here and wait, pan, to see all of the high and mighty them who have been buying and abusing children and running racketeering with Epstein. So we need to list Donald Trump. We need to see all on no disgrace. All on no high and mighties. We want to see no disgrace. And Bill and Hillary, hey, the children they want to detect from Haiti in the earthquake. We don't even talk about the money because we know it's on our teeth, you know. But the children them want to airlift out of Haiti, Bill and Hillary. Any news on them? Any news on those children? Want to lift out of Haiti during the hurricane? But we don't hear gunfire about. Want to lift them out. Any news on them? And to you, Donald Trump, if you're not releasing the Epstein file, which would have a whole heap on a white man on it, then you must bring P. Diddy case to a halt. You can't continue to convict majority black man for these sex crime that resides in white society and white work environment and achieving white opportunity. You must be abused by these monsters, Donald Trump. That's why we want the Epstein list. All right? Andrew Windsor upon it. Andrew Windsor mama block him from the FBI, take him in for questioning. The FBI want to question Andrew Mountbatten, and the mama prevent it. The mama turn around, pay Virginia 12 million out of money, and then all of a sudden Virginia crash, then commit suicide. What a world. What a world we live in. That's why I cannot for the life of me call the youths of the ghetto criminal. I can't do it. I cannot do it. The youths of the ghetto, the youths of the inner city are victims. Victims. They're not criminals. The criminals are your politician in your business community who fund and sponsors crime. The youths in the ghetto are victim of the circumstances created by their very own leaders. They're not criminals. They really aren't. Believe you me. If you provide them education and if you provide them opportunity, I guarantee you a lot of them wouldn't take the guns from politicians. It's because politicians make them believe that power, authority, and wealth comes with the gun. I know the youth, they get to a problem in our country. It's those who can afford to buy the guns. Those who have contacts and connections to make sure their guns come through custom, evade custom and everybody, and get to the hands of the youths in the ghetto. The youths in the ghetto are not the criminals in our country. The youths in the ghetto are victims like us. Only because we become their victim. But all of us are victim of the high and mighty. But I want to thank you all very much for your support. Lovely to have you all as always. Possibly, we are hoping for the signs to turn out well. If not, this will be our last show for the month. Hopefully, we'll return soon next month because we are getting closer to the election. Hopefully my recovery period is smooth sailing and quickly, so we can back pan the war route with the Prime Minister again. But if you have to go before my recovery Prime Minister, should I wish you well or should I wish you hell? Which one? I leave it to the globalists. Should we wish the Prime Minister well or should we wish the Prime Minister hell? Thank you very much for being here with us tonight. Here's the Colleen, so wish him hell. Florence, so wish him hell. Prime Minister, globalists wish you hell. And an orange jumpsuit as well, Prime Minister. Hell and an orange jumpsuit, because we certainly want to see the back of you. But I'm going to be resting over the weekend. Some families and friends will be visiting me over the weekend as well. However, I will keep you updated on the community page as how Monday turns out. But thank you all very much for your support. Thank you all very much for your wishes and everything. Thanks very much. Lovely to have you all. Continue to support and let us continue to work for a better Jamaica. Thank you. It won't be long, Debbie, but you know it. I'm probably, because a keyhole surgery may have, so you might know I'll be back probably in around 2 weeks and so I can sit down on my sofa and talk after a while. So you might never know I'll be back in no time. And if the Prime Minister tests me and come out all on a theater bed, if the Prime Minister tests me and wants to call an election while me I have a little time off for health reasons, then all on the theater bed Prime Minister, them have to wheel me out to take a job at you. But thank you all very much. Have yourself an amazing weekend, and we'll keep you updated on Monday, and we will certainly be returning to work soon. So thank you, and good night from Global TV.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rob and cheat, and not first and four. Make up what I seen to. Make him a throw and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. So, my favorite part, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are ready. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out and sell out Babylon. They give man throw and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man throw and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked bring a bad feeling to awaken men. Oh, what a black thing, man, throw and stone, and it bring a bad feeling to awaken men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one, big him and show one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to awaken men. Oh, what's a black big him and show one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to awaken men. Rastaman show one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to awaken men.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.